大変長らくお待たせいたしました。
Sorry to have kept you waiting. It is time. We'd like to begin now. Thank you very much for participating in this Impossible Hackathon, the theme of which is disability. Prior to the opening session, I would like to give you a few announcements. We have a simultaneous available in Japanese and English. Please click on the globe button and select the language you would like to listen to the seminar. We also have subtitles available in both Japanese and English. As for the English subtitle, there is a subtitle setting button. Please click on the button to look at the English subtitles. We also have available sign language interpretation in Japanese and Hebrew. As for the sign language, please follow the instructions. The instructions will show now. And this event will be recorded and will be uploaded on the event YouTube channel. We hope to have your understanding on this point as well. Thank you very much. Now we would like to begin the opening event for the Impossible Hackathon. My name is Eriko Uchiyama. I am from the social inclusion team from the Nippon Foundation. The Nippon Foundation, to fulfill the potential of everyone regardless of disability, we have been working towards realizing a society where all kinds of solutions can be solved that disability people faces by creating a community in collaboration with the Israeli embassy. And today is our first opening session for the Impossible Hackathon, and also we will be having an orientation session today. As indicated in the slides, we have a number of partner companies and organizations. We'd like to thank all of you organizations for your cooperation. And in this 1 hour opening session, we will also have an orientation session for those who are interested in participating in the hackathon. If you have time, please do participate in the orientation session. Representing the organizer, I would now like to invite Ambassador Yaffa Ben-Ari of Israel and Japan to say a few words. Ambassador Ben-Ari, please.
Okay, once again, dear friends from Israel and Japan, it is my great pleasure to address you today on the occasion of launching an inspiring project, the Japan-Israel Makers Community. I'm very excited for this unique exchange between Israel and Japan, which is set to assist people with disability, or as we can say, extra abilities in their different needs. In the Embassy of Israel here in Japan, our primary goal is to establish connections between Israelis and Japanese in various fields. Every such connection is unique, but when it involves such a significant cause that can directly affect people's lives, it is very special and meaningful. Israel and Japan have so much to achieve by working together. We have much more to learn from each other in the fields of accessibility and assistive tech. Japan, the third largest economy in the world, is home to many innovative centers. Japan invests many efforts and resources in promoting advanced technologies, including in the fields of assistive tech. With the very successful Paralympic Games being hosted by Japan, various actions and processes had taken place in order to create an accessible environment in Tokyo. The well-known Japanese long-term planning, the ability to carry out massive projects and more are things that we Israelis admire and can learn a lot from. On the other hand, Israel is one of the world leaders in those fields. With advanced legislation, investment in R&D, and developments of new technological solutions, state-of-the-art support centers, plenty of civil society organization, and more, Israel invests tremendous efforts in creating a more inclusive society for people with disability. We still have a way to go and much more to do, but the progress made in the past 2 decades is significant. The COVID-19 pandemic has been teaching us many lessons, including understanding of people with disability. While quarantines, lockdown, and other restrictions on day-to-day life are being implemented in different parts of the world, many experience some similar challenges that people with disabilities always have, whether physically or mentally. In addition, new forms of life like wearing masks, transferring to online communications platforms, and more brought a new range of limitations for people with different abilities. Together with our great partners, the Nippon foundations, the many prominent organizations in the field from both Israel and Japan, the judges, mentors, and the participants in this hackathon, we hope to find new creative ideas that will help people with disabilities and bring them closer to and more equal with the general population. In the long run, we wish this new initiative to promote the joint Japan-Israel discussion relating to these very important topics of diversibility and accessibility. I hope that this event is just the beginning of a long-lasting effort involving many people and organizations on both sides, working together to make this world a more accessible one for all. An ancient Jewish proverb is saying, "He who saves one soul saved the world entire." I believe that joining our forces and brains with different approaches will produce inspiring ideas that could hopefully make a difference for many lives around the world. I would like to wish the participants in this hackathon the best of luck and to thank all who take part in bringing this project to reality. Thank you and happy Jewish New Year. Shana Tova.
Ambassador Ben-Ari, thank you very much. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Koichi Mori, the president of Moris, to give an opening address. Mr. Moris has been engaged in welfare business for the elderly and persons with disability, and also in consulting businesses. And today he will be speaking on the topic of overcoming barriers. Mr. Mori, please. I run a company called Moris in Kagawa Prefecture. My name is Koichi Mori. Thank you for having me today. So I would now like to give you an address at the opening of this opening session. I was an athlete when I was a student. I was hoping that I would be able to become an Olympian, to become a top-level athlete in the world. However, during my study in the United States, I had an accident, major accident, and my body became immobile. And from 2006, I engaged in serious rehabilitation efforts so I can become active again. Originally, I wanted to become an Olympian, but even after I became disabled, I wanted to aim higher again, to be the world's #1 again. But I had to seek things that I could do that I can do using my head, because my body below my head was immobile. And I realized that what I can do was use my brains. And I decided that I would use my brain to become, in some way or another, Wales number one. So as you can see in this slide, I am bedridden. And I work on my bed using the personal computer. And I just started to work on my bed. And for my work or in my daily life, I needed to make adjustments. In 2008, I created an NGO. And as you can see on this slide, there is a square box. And this can be operated by using my jaws. And I use a mouse that was jointly developed when I was hospitalized, and I still use this device. And by using this mouse, and by using this tube that I suck into, this uses my strength of breathing to adjust the environment inside my room, for example, and also to operate the television, to switch on and off the light, the air conditioner, and also to adjust the angle of my bed and to open or close the curtains. And I can do this, operate this through the strength of my respiration. And this was by using a marketed product. And I work using the cloud system. And when I read the bank notes, bank books, or a book, I copy the paper into my PC. I scan them into my PC so that I can read them through my personal computer or iPad. Of course, now through the age of digital transformation, in that respect, from 2006 to 2007, various products have been digitized. Sorry to keep you waiting, because my body movement is limited. My jaws sometimes hit the mouse I'm using, so that causes misoperation of the PC. Please excuse me. So this is one of the tools I use to operate my PC, but many other products and devices have been digitized. But for me, I still have an issue, problems that I cannot still deal with. After I became injured, it became difficult to adjust my body temperature. So at night, like from winter to summer, my body temperature would rise. And during the winter seasons, on the other hand, my body temperature would decline. And I cannot put on the blanket on myself. And every night I have to wake up my wife, which is not a happy solution. And I noticed, I realized something. So I do have problems and weaknesses like other persons with disability. And I thought that there might be, if there were solutions to solve these problems, and I could be the one to create those solutions to help other people with disability all around the world. I realized that I could help them too. And I feel that I've been able to do that in my own local area, local community. But I would also like to help other people around the world through manufacturing, creating new products that would address some of the problems the people with disability have. So I felt that this was a great opportunity for me. And with my friends, as shown in this slide, this is some of my colleagues. Together with him, we discussed about ideas, and we said if we wanted to create something to improve, to enable people to do new things, if only we could provide a solution, I would then be able to sleep at night without worrying about adjusting my body temperature. And this would also contribute to the happiness of people with disability. And I can contribute to this by manufacturing, creating new devices and products, and thereby to contribute to the happiness of people with disability by solving many of the problems that people with disability have and improving their welfare. So this is my goal. It is an ambitious goal, and I would like to overcome barriers. So I think there are many obstacles that I face, and I can overcome these barriers through technology, new ideas, and initiative. And these are some of the elements that are needed to overcome these barriers. So these are some of the topics that I'm doing research. I'm hoping that the AI will be able to help those people who have sleep disorders. And with my friend, Mr. Sakurai, who has severe physical disability, I would like to create new devices that will make all people happy. So with this intent, we like to save all kinds of people around the world. And I would like to invite other participants to the hackathon to work together in making a better world. Thank you very much.
Very much, Mr. Mori, for sharing your valuable experience. Now we would like to begin the main session. The speakers are Ms. Pascale Bercovitch and Ms. Monika Seryu. Both are para-canoe athletes. In addition to being a para-athlete, Ms. Bercovitch is an author, filmmaker, and corporate advisor. More than 500,000 people have been greatly inspired by her speeches. About Ms. Seryu, she is also a para-canoe athlete like Ms. Bercovitch. Today, we will hear about diversity and inclusion. Since Ms. Seryu was unable to join us today in real time due to her attendance at the closing ceremonies of the Paralympic Games, so we will be sharing the video that was pre-recorded. Now, Ms. Bercovitch and Ms. Seryu, please.
Yeah. So, domo arigatou gozaimasu. I am Pascale Bercovitch, and I would like to begin with a personal message to Moris-san we just heard now. I am really finding very hard to speak after his presentation because Moris-san, you're a wonderful athlete. An athlete is somebody that is pushing his or her limit all the time and taking his or her body as far as possible, and you're doing that big time. So I just want to thank you for your amazing inspiration you're bringing to everybody that has the luck and the chance to hear you. I am also a person that, I mean, to me, always amazing things are happening, to me too. And actually, one of the main amazing thing is to be here today. And I want to thank Nippon Foundation and the Israeli Embassy here in Tokyo. I just finished yesterday my races during the Paralympic Games in Tokyo, my best Paralympics ever. I am really, really glad and happy. I finished 10th in the world. It's not a medal, it's not a podium, but I am still very, very happy with it. Actually, I am living in Israel. I am living in Tel Aviv, and I had the opportunity to come here for the Paralympics. As you see, I have no legs. I mean, I have little legs. Maybe you see it. I'm a very short person. Maybe you don't see it, but you will see it. And because I'm sitting in a wheelchair. I'm sitting in a wheelchair, I was born in France and I had an accident in France. I was a total regular student and I was going to my school and I just ran to my train like every morning to get my train, and I just slept on the ice. The train was a bit before time. I came on time and I just saw door open and I said to myself, okay, it's very cool. I still can have this train, you know, catch this train. So I just decided to run a bit faster and just jump into the train, and I didn't succeed. Sometimes, you know, you want something and doesn't happen so much the way you want. So instead of finding myself into the train, I found myself under the train, and the wheel just cut off both of my legs. I know it sounds very, very harsh and tough and painful, but actually, yeah, this is what happened to me, and life goes on afterwards. I found myself sitting in a wheelchair. I was a dancer. I was, you know, a young person, and suddenly I found myself in a wheelchair. And actually, the worst thing for me was to see the way people were looking at me, because, you know, I was used to be 17 years old, going in the street, everybody was smiling at me and everything, and suddenly I was the same 17 years old, the same girl, you know, curly hair, blue eyes, but sitting in a wheelchair, and the people were looking at me and like they didn't know how to behave with me. You know, it was in France. It was a long time ago. People didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to react in front of me. And it was really painful for me because they didn't chat with me. They didn't come to me. They didn't talk to me. They just stayed there and do as if I wasn't there, because they didn't know how to react. So we're just passing through, you know, and looking at me like, oh, you know, on the way, you know, they didn't want me to see that they are staring at me. From this moment on, and I was 17, today I'm 54, so it was a long time ago, I decided that I'm going to change that. I'm going to help other people that are walking and thinking they are normal, you know. I want to help them to look at me in the eyes and see me. I am Pascale Bercovitch, and amazing things are always happening to me. Today, after so long, I am very proud. I'm very, very proud to be here and to be part of this international amazing movement. Not only the Paralympic movement, but also the movement of people, good people, that wants to make a network to change this world for the good. Changing this word could be in a lot of different ways, and everybody can, you know, change the word a little bit. Nobody can, you know, change the word like a big revolution in 1 second. It takes time, but everybody can just, you know, give something. And I know that we are many, not only disabled people, regular people, you know, everybody has sort of disability somewhere. We are all different, and somebody has no legs, and somebody has no arms, and somebody cannot move at all, and somebody cannot see, or somebody just feels really depressed every day, and you know, he or she doesn't know why, but we are all the same. At the end of the day, we are human beings, and we can help each other. And sometimes goodwill is really helping, and it's very important, and it may be the most important thing. And sometimes also technology can help us, pushing a button and helping us doing something that we cannot do by ourselves, you know. And actually, I talked with my friend, Paralympian also, canoer also, Monika Seryu, Monika-san, my good friend. I want to show you a small video of her. We chatting in the Paralympic village. It was yesterday.
Hello, everyone. I'm a cameraman.
Starting.
Yeah. It's okay. Choose for some seconds for the good cause. Okay. Yeah. Monika, I would like to know how it is for you to live in Japan in wheelchair. How is it for you? You think it's easy? It's a problem? How people look at you?
東京オリンピック・パラリンピックをきっかけにすごく車椅子のアクセシビリティは良くなっている。
Because the Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games, the accessibility for wheelchair use had improved enormously. However, we need a lot more improvement on the soft side, I mean people, rather than the hardware or infrastructure, like approaching you, Ms Pascale, if you're in trouble saying, do you need some help? So that kind of mindset needs more developing.
Do you think it is important to have a new technology for us to be better? Are you using new technology?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Much. Because
you can say it in Japanese because everybody understands it.
Okay. すごく私たちに
Technology is very close to us. For example, this smart drive, this smart drive, this athlete's village is very big. So as a means of transport, this makes traveling so much easier and is very useful. And another example is that the canoe seat uses a technology that makes up for the functions we cannot use and make us better. I think it's essential for para-athletes. I'm using that too. Not this one, but the same one. For my kayak too, it is important for me. I'm also using new technologies.
Yes, of course I understand Japanese. Everybody is speaking Japanese now. That's it, you know. Tokyo 2021, everybody. Yeah, no, but I know you, and we always talk about it, so it's not. Yes. Yeah, Monika-san, my good friend, I love her so much. She is speaking about the wheel we have that is adjustable, and we can have behind our wheelchair just to help us when we are tired. It's a small, like a small engine, very, very convenient. And all the adaptations we can have in the kayak. Without them, we cannot paddle, and of course we cannot paddle fast. All the adaptations we can have on our wheelchairs, but there is so much different technologies that could help. Some of them already existed, but of course there are a lot to do. And we really want Monika and I think all the Paralympians and all the people in the world that can use the different new technologies to improve their daily lives and improve their sports and improve their well-being, or even help them move around or anything. I think it's really important to make an international network that everybody could just bring his or her own ideas. People with disability that know from their side what they need, and people that have very good ideas and skills in the world. So of course, if we begin here today in Tokyo, it's the launch of the I Am Possible, and I am so thrilled to be here. And I think it's only a beginning. I really feel that very strongly. It's only a beginning. We're beginning here by making a friendship collaboration in between Israeli people and Japanese people, and try to solve as much problems as possible. But it could be really an international, amazing network. People from all over the world. You see, we don't need even to be close to talk and understand each other. We can do it by video and by sign language and in all the languages, and it is by itself something amazing, according to me. So I'm really hoping a lot of, yes, we are going to have a lot of success with I Am Possible. It's an amazing project, and I really hope as much as possible a lot of people from all over the world will join and be with us and make a difference, make this world better. So thank you very much. Gambate. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm lucky I have public.
Thank you, Ms. Pascale, and thank you, Ms. Seryu, for your wonderful messages.
And now
we
we
will
would
move
like
on
to
to introduce some
explain
of the case studies
done on technology to address various types of disability.
The speakers here
and we have as speakers
will be
our partner,
the partner
from Access
will
Israel,
be from
CEO,
the partner,
Ms.
who is
Rimon.
Ms. Michal
And
Rimon,
also,
CEO
we
of
also
Access
have
Israel,
another
providing a
speaker,
lot of support,
Yosuke
and Mr. Yosuke
Program
Ishikawa,
Director of the
team
Social
leader of
Inclusion
the
Team
Inclusion
for the
Promotion
Nippon
Team,
Foundation.
Special Project
So may I
Department of the
ask
Nippon
Ms.
Foundation. Now,
Rimon and Ishikawa
and also
to speak.
Ishikawa-san, please.
Hello to all. Sorry, I thought that the order is different. My apologies. And good morning, good afternoon, depends on where you are. Dear Ambassador, dear partners from the Nippon Foundation, the Embassy's major partner for this amazing event, additional partners, supporters, and participants in this I Am Impossible event. I am possible, of course. I am Michal Rimon, CEO of Access Israel. Really, really excited to be here with you today. I must use this opportunity to congratulate and send a message to our dear friend and inspiration, Pascale Bercovitch, who you just heard, a real supporter and help in achieving the goals that we are all here to achieve together. And finally, special thanks to the Israeli Cultural and Science Attaché to Japan, Ariel Rosen, who invited us to be part of this great event. I would like to first give a visual description of myself to those of you with visual disabilities. I am a white female with brown hair on my head with not flowing, that's today's hairdo. And in the back of me, various pictures of campaigns Access Israel did throughout the years, and leaning on a black chair. I have quite a challenge ahead of me. We have picked 9 examples of Israeli technologies, each developed following a challenge people with disabilities face every day, offering a solution. We made sure the various disabilities are represented here, and it will be a very short presentation of each technology here because we have a limited time, and I will share my screen now. Great, I hope this is shared correctly. If you can just confirm that it is okay. Great. So anyway, if anybody wants more information about one or many of these technologies, feel free to contact us. We'll be more than happy to provide more information and even connect you to the various technologies. The idea and the reason I am presenting these technologies now at the beginning of this amazing month we have ahead of us is to inspire. Let's be inspired. Let's see how technology can really change lives. And when it is accessible or aimed at accessibility solution, it contributes to our goal of leaving no one behind. So these are the 9 technologies. The first one is OrCam. OrCam My Eye, a wearable solution for people with visual disabilities. The challenge here is people with visual disabilities have difficulties or can't read printed text and can't identify who is in front of them, colors and more. That was the challenge OrCam people faced. And the solution they found was My Eyes, which conveys visual information audibly in real time and offline with a device that attaches to any set of glasses. It can instantly read to you from a book, from a smartphone, from a screen or any other surface, recognize faces, colors, help you shop, work more efficiently, live a more independent life. The next one is eye control. Eye control is turning eye movements into communication. The challenge here is, think of people in ICU who cannot communicate verbally, and they need to be able to communicate with their medical staff. How do we do that? So the solution Eye Control did was the first wearable, screenless, AI-powered eye tracking technology device enabling remote communication around the clock. It enables remote communication, for example, as I said, between the ventilated patient at the ICU and the medical staff using the nurse's station in the middle. This also, try to think about it, and this is something very common when we're dealing with technologies that are promoting accessibility, it also brought improvement not only to those initial patients in ICU, but also for locked-in home care patients with round-the-clock communication with family members and caregivers. Again, I think we saw a great example of this earlier this hour. The next technology is a technology called Verbit, video and media accessible to all individuals. The challenge here is people with hearing and learning disabilities face challenges when participating in lectures, large-scale meetings, etc. And I think, you know, during COVID in the last year and a half, we all experienced it. Joining the Zoom, having people speak maybe from all over the world with accents, with languages that maybe we're not fluent with. And of course, those with hearing disabilities need to have a way to be part of this. So Verbit provides a technology turning all media shared in classrooms, in workplace, in courts, online platforms to an inclusive format using a combination of automated AI-based solutions with human touch. Think about it, audio descriptions, searchable transcripts, captioning, and visual descriptions. These are all part of the Verbit product. Live solutions to accommodate remote work, as I said, now during COVID, and provide students accessibility needs in real time. The next solution is the Up and Ride, safe mobility outdoors and indoors. The challenge here was people with mobility disability want the ability to move independently, and for medical and functionality purposes, return ability to stand. The solution here is Up and Ride, wheeled robotic device providing upright and seated mobility, both for wheelchair users and for anyone who is unable to or has difficulty standing or walking. This solution improves health, enhances social inclusion, and reduces healthcare and living expenses. Our next technology is the Alliable. It creates digital assets with accessibility in mind. Now, the challenge here is a huge number of potential customers with disabilities are unable to access important information about products and services in the websites. And again, I think COVID showed all of us how we need the website to be there, provide information, be accessible for all. But an astounding 98% of existing websites present significant barriers to end users with some form of disability, whether visual, auditory, cognitive, motor, or age-related. Now, the solution is a software which was developed to help developers and managers of website to make sure the final version of the website is accessible for all, making sure all digital assets are fully accessible to users from all over the world. Our next next technology is Step Here, in the palm of your hand. The challenge here is that people with visual disabilities find it challenging to navigate freely in the urban surroundings and specifically in public transportation. The solution Step Here developed was to create an orientation and guidance system for the blind and visually impaired using an application on a smartphone, providing vocal guidance and information in banks, shopping malls, museums, retail shops, airports, hospitals, public transportation, and much more. Specifically, imagine that a person with disability, a blind person sitting in a bus stop, not being able, for example, to identify the buses that are coming by, they will receive an option and information about the buses coming on their end, and the bus drivers can receive information about the person with disability that is waiting in the station. So this is a very holistic solution that works pretty well. The next technology is Traverxy. Traverxy turning travel agencies into accessibility experts. Well, the challenge here was that offline and online travel agencies have a hard time dealing with travelers with special accessibility needs, since they are not really experts, accessibility experts, and they lack the tools or knowledge to provide travelers with disabilities and senior travelers what is needed. Beyond the regular anxieties, we have to remember that people with disabilities aren't just worried, you know, did I order the right hotel? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be clean? They have their concerns, which are much larger on the accessibility. Can they even enter? Can they even use the facilities? So think about it, all the efforts, all the planning, all the costs will be wasted if they come to a place that is not accessible. And here is the solution that basically Traverxy offers. It's a B2B model, helping the agents to help the customers with disability. Traverxy reduces the search time for the right hotel and notifies the airline about passenger accessibility needs. The next one, which I can tell you that going through the technologies, I immediately passed this on to my father because, you know, statistically, we all know somebody with a disability. This is for us, for our loved ones, for our friends, for our families. TuneFork is improved quality of hearing. The challenge here is that many people with hearing disabilities each have their own unique range of hearing. Generic accessibility adaptations for cell phones, for example, is not really sufficient in all cases. So the solution here is it enables to perform a single simple hearing test on a cell phone, and it grades the user's specific hearing problem. The test results, paired with sophisticated algorithms to adjust frequencies, turns your cell phone into an optimal, custom-made audio experience for the user, a personalized audio profile. Now, think about all the growing usage and dependency of technological solutions. This makes sure that a person with disabilities, my dad, for example, who cannot hear as well as he heard in the past, will now be able to hear phone calls, rings, alerts, TV shows, voice messages, etc., much clearer. The result is optimal hearing experience, improving the quality of life of people with hearing loss and the elderly. Our next technology is skill set, new job matching standard. The challenge here is that people with disabilities face extra challenges when trying to be incorporated into the employment world. This is, on the one hand, due to lack of confidence and awareness to their own abilities, and on the other, the need to ensure potential employers that the candidate with disability can do the work. And again, I can tell you, a lot of opportunities opened up during COVID. People who for many years did not think they can be part of the working force, all of a sudden are part of it. So this technology helps them enter the world of employment with more confidence. Now, I can't believe it, but we did it. 9 technologies in about 10 minutes. Now, I want to just take another minute to just stress a couple of things. First of all, as I said, I am the CEO of Access Israel. Accessibility is our name, but it's not the goal. We have to all remember what the goal is. Accessibility is a means to an end. It's a way to achieve the real goal, which is true inclusion. Now, I could go deeper and together with you go through the various solutions and see the added value for each solution I brought. But one of the things we always say about accessibility is once you implement accessibility, many more people than just people with disabilities will enjoy what you have created. Many times the solution goes way beyond just the original challenge it was meant to solve. Just for example, we were talking about Verbit. The solution there is not only for people with hearing disabilities or learning disabilities. It helps many more people who listen to lectures or meetings, even let's say in a foreign language, are not even part of the people with disabilities category. Another example is additional uses. If OrCam originally was developed as a personal device, we see now that it can be used also in the public area, for example, in libraries. And that way, the same solution for a challenge all of a sudden expands and helps many more. Now, as long as we remember the Access Israel accessible future model, get to know the target audience, understand the challenges they face, and remember that accessibility is a sequence. Each gap and problem needs to be solved in order to achieve our goal of, as I said, true inclusion. Define the gap and what is required to overcome it, and find a solution. Join the change makers, investing in all of our futures to create a more accessible and inclusive reality for us all. On a personal note, and I'll end with that, I joined Access Israel 14 years ago. And since then, I am lucky to wake up every single day to an Israel which is a bit more accessible every day. And I know that I and we, Access Israel, contribute to it. I see people who enjoy this change. Let's face it, we can't beat the statistics. Some here already know it from a personal basis, and for some, it will hit home sooner or later and affect us and our dear ones. Your mere participation in this event means you're with us. Welcome to the club, and I'm eager to see what this process will create. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
So this is Ishikawa from Nippon Foundation. Ms. Rimon's presentation was so wonderful. It made me very nervous, but I would like to share with you some of the Japanese technologies available. So first, it is called body sharing robot. Using the technology, body sharing means using the power of technology. It is to share the functions of the body with others. So if you put this robot on your shoulder and take a walk, you can actually communicate with someone who is in a remote area. Or if the user is blind, you can actually sort of lend your vision to that person. Next is the white cane called Seeker. So station platform is a scary place because blind people fall from the platform very often. And also, there is a white cane to detect the signals. Next, I would like to introduce you a company called QT Laser. The example of QD Laser will be provided by Mr. Kawamura, who is heading the team of concerning the visual information device. This is Kawamura from QD Laser. Thank you for your introduction. So about 15 years ago, we became a venture, a spin-off venture from Fujitsu Laboratories, and then we became a listed company on the TSE Mothers after 14 years. There are two business lines. One is laser device business, and the other is laser eyewear business. As for the laser device business, we use laser for the various applications, and also we provide a device for the new areas as well. And the laser eyewear uses the proprietary technology, which it's called laser retinal projection technology. So you can directly project image on the retina. And then in the front part of the eyeball, if there is some problem, you could skip that hurdle and then still project a clear image onto the retina. So it's an eyewear device that we provide in a laser eyewear device. So let me tell you a little bit more about the technology, VisiRealm technology. By projecting laser onto the retina, we can provide the vision that we can provide a clear image recognition even with nearsightedness, farsightedness, and astigmatism and reflective errors. Another characteristic is about the free focus. On the retina, you can focus both on what you see by the naked eyes and on the projected image. So existing smart glass technology, compared to that, you can enjoy the very natural image, natural AR experience. And then finally, focus is achieved even at the periphery of the retina. So on the day-to-day basis, actually, we could only focus on a very central area, and the peripheral area is quite blurred. However, we can, through this technology, provide retinal projection, which can focus on a wide area of retina, making it suitable for patients with visual impairments. Because those people who could only see images using the periphery of the retina, they can have a wider vision and enjoy a clearer image. Now, next page, please. So this is a very technical image. So this is comparing the sort of normal like a vision and the vision with this technology. So the point is that using the lens, you could focus. So there is a pinhole focus. So when you look, if you look things through pinhole, you can better focus. So basically the same principle is used. So the head mount display uses certain technology, but there is a difference between our Visirum technology and the conventional display technology. So the virtual display is placed in the space, and then image is projected. But with our Visirum technology, we are projecting image directly onto the retina using laser. So wherever the focus, you could overwrite the image on the retina, and the projector interrupts the real visual field and overrides with what you want to show. So compared to the conventional, the head mount display, which is on the left, there is no discrepancy between the real visual field and the focus. So more natural augmented reality can be achieved using this technology. So in the medical device business and the non-medical device business, we are marketing the products. So for non-medical device business, it's available in the market, but the medical device could only can be purchased using the prescription of the doctors. As for the device for consumers, which is Retina Display 2, so this is a normal general product available through the various sites. So online e-commerce sites can be used to purchase this. So you can achieve the 20/25 vision. Even your refraction is minus 11D or to the plus 6D. So on this slide, so you can't really see further details, but if you type in with my eyes, you could find the videos showing more information on this technology. So you can search the Google using the search words with my eyes. Thank you very much, Mr. Kawamura. With my eyes are the the phrases that you use to look for further information on this technology. So we're going to post the link. The Easpe is the next company, and I'd like to provide some service, provide information on this service. And the presenter is Mr. Hiratsuka, CEO of Easpe. My name is Hiratsuka, representing the company Easpe. We support the children with development disabilities, development disorders, and we provide business improvement platform for supporters of those children. So as for our philosophy, we aim to create a social infrastructure where all people can demonstrate their abilities. So regardless of birth or characteristics, have the opportunity to learn and grow in a way that suits them and where they can achieve what they want to do and be. So because of the legislation in Japan in 2005, the environment has changed, and now 30 million children are receiving a lot of support. However, the provision of the support faces various challenges because of the lack of resources on the supporting side. So more than about half of the customers are saying that it's very difficult to secure the staff members, and they are very much stretched in providing the administrative work as well as services. Therefore, they can't really train the people. In order to overcome these challenges, we identify some identify some issues. That is how to efficiently manage the information. There are many tools that you can deploy, but to children, what kind of support should be provided and how effective the support was, and how can we further be successful? So in order to collect information on such matters, there is a lot more room to improve in terms of technology introduction. And lack of technology and tools are stretching the people working on the ground. So we are developing and providing the business improvement platform to centrally inform the treatment and education data. So it's an Easpe monitoring system. By digitalizing the information, we look to improve the efficiency of the work so as to enhance the focus on the children. So just share with you some of the information. So over the 6 months, the customer develops their business plan. However, it requires like 1.5 months to just to develop a 6-month plan. So the time for planning itself was putting a lot of pressure on their resources. However, you can actually reduce the time required for planning by 60% using our platform. So finally, we are looking into the challenges faced by those who are providing support and assistance to the children with development disorders. So as a mentor, we'll be taking part in a hackathon. So I hope we have opportunity to interact with you going forward. Thank you, Mr. Hiratsuka, for your presentation. So this time, you are going to be engaged in this project as a mentor. So if you're interested, please reach out to him. I also like to share with you some interesting technologies. So AI Easy Sports is the next technology. So under the pandemic, people find it difficult to go out and enjoy exercise. So in order to make it possible for everyone to enjoy sport, so you can see some of the illustrations. One picture shows the sports to compete the movement of your eyebrows and raising the eyebrows and lowering your eyebrows. So it's a quite interesting AR Easy Sports. And finally, I would like to introduce you to the area where we believe more technology introduction is needed. I'd like to play some video clips to introduce the business or technology. So the audio is not coming to the interpreter. But it's even if I wanted to dress up, because of the disabilities, I was not able to enjoy the various clothes because if you have disabilities, your first priority goes to functionality of your clothes. But I wanted people to wear what they wanted to wear rather than what they could wear. Sorry, the audio was not coming. So this is the semi-bespoke services provided to people with disabilities, and the company's name is Solid. So the people with disabilities tend to prioritize the function over what they want to wear. But with this support, she's saying that she can wear what she wanted to wear and still very functional. So that's the value that they're trying to deliver. So together with people with disabilities and welfare professionals, as well as apparel companies and other stakeholders, we are working together. And so I'm sorry the audio was not shared with you.
So in Japan, we have different kind of technologies. And I think you are able to understand the diversity of technologies that has been provided. But of course, the essence of this solution is to address all kind of negativity regarding disability. And I think we were able to see some of the problems that these people with disability faces. And we have a YouTube channel for the makers community, and we also include interviews with people with disabilities. So please do watch those YouTube and enjoy this hackathon together. Thank you very much. Rimon, Mr. Ishikawa, thank you very much. We have seen some of the technologies that addresses a diverse range of disability. And lastly, I would like to invite Ichiro Kabasawa, Executive Director of the Nippon Foundation. Ambassador Yaffa Ben-Ari and participants to the hackathon events. On behalf of the Nippon Foundation, I would like to express my appreciation to you. At Nippon Foundation, we have been involved, particularly in Southeast Asia, to provide support to people with disability over the last 50 years. So we are probably one of the largest private sector NGO that provides support to people with disability. And now we are looking at the use of technology to promote inclusion of people with disability. This effort did not begin today. In the past, we have repeatedly use this kind of approach to promote inclusion. For example, 30 years ago, and this project is still ongoing for the last 30 years in 6 countries, we have been supporting schools that develops prosthetics. We have invested more than 10 billion yen to this project. And when we think about the history of Southeast Asia during the 1970s and 1980s, the Southeast Asia there were many conflicts there, and many people lost their limbs or legs from landmines. And we have been trying to help them to return to society, to participate in society by promoting inclusion, by helping with the training of people who build prosthetics. And the Nippon Foundation, as explained, had been involved in this kind of work for the last 30 years. And some of the changes we have been able to see through the last 30 years is a use of technology. And also we have the Tokyo Olympics. And we can see from the Tokyo Olympics that the world is changing. And we are now seeing more inclusive society where people with disability can participate in society. In other words, the world, the society is now beginning to accept inclusion of people with disability. So we have a social consensus for accepting people with disability. And the challenge is, how do we further promote the way forward? And we need to find the methodology to be able to do that. And one of which is this hackathon. So technology can change the world. And we have this major opportunity now to change the world. We have the opportunity now in our hands to change the world. And the key word for innovation is cross-sector, interdisciplinary collaboration through Nippon Foundation, also the companies, as well as Israel and the embassy, so that many different players will contribute their ideas to bring about innovation. Let us work together to increase our potential and opportunities. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Kabasawa. And we would now like to conclude the opening event. Thank you very much for your participation. We will now have a 2 minutes break and we'll resume with the orientation for the hackathon participants. If you are planning to participate or you are still considering to participate, please stay on the Zoom. We will resume at 4:20. Thank you very much.